Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to News Report TV. So let's jump right into it. We haven't really heard much of anything about Tory Lanez since December of 2022, when he was found guilty on all three charges against him when it comes to the shooting that took place in July of 2020, where leaving his victim, Megan Thee Stallion, shot in the foot. So since 2020, there have been a lot of controversies surrounding this matter. It went from, we heard bits and pieces, or we just saw a video footage of Megan Thee Stallion, um, you know, in the middle of a street, and we saw her with her bikini. We didn't really know the details of what was going on. And that also played out in court, where later on, especially after the Tory was found guilty, the recording, the audio from the jail call between Kelsey and Tory Lanez came out, where Tory was very apologetic to Kelsey about something. A lot of people assumed that he was apologetic about the shooting. Um, between the time leading up to the trial in 2022, Tory Lanez at some point, I don't know if he alluded to it on a song. I think he alluded to this on a song. He said he was apologetic for, being intimate with both, the friend and Megan. So he said that that's the reason what he was apologizing for. I think he sent a text message. Well, I know, yeah, Megan also said he sent a text message, and she showed the message of him apologizing, saying, "Hey, Megan, I know you'll never want to talk to me again." And he has also expressed a lot of emotion towards Megan in a very romantic sense in the song. Megan later denied that she was ever romantically involved with Tory Lanez, which nobody believes. I believe her interview with Gail may have been more empathetic if she was just a bit more genuine when it comes to those details, because she was specifically asked if she had a romantic relationship with Tory. She wanted people to just focus on the fact that she was hurt and that she was a victim, which I get and I understand. But if you're being asked a direct question like that, I just feel like, you should have just, gave the truth. I'm not sure why there was no way to kind of deviate from that. You should just answer the question. And a lot of that is stemming from her believing that it has nothing to do with whether or not she had a romantic relationship, just the fact that, hey, he pulled the gun out. But typically, when we look back at different things, different stories, and the dynamics of things and how things went down, we are able to piece together a story, right? Any violent act, or anything that is reported, whether it be on the news or just um something that we would look back to in history, we're able to give titles to the people. We're able to give a setting. We're able to give set the tone for everyone by everyone understanding the dynamics. So with her wanting to deliberately leave out that piece of information, that you were intimate with Tory, and it was important. We don't. I think that the people who were judging her for, I guess, having multiple relationships allegedly with other people in the industry as well, take that aside. The dynamics of this situation and the details were important for people to piece together a story. If you want to tell your story, I think that it was very it was just ingenuine to just want to say, hey, I want empathy. I want to be looked at as somebody who is a victim, but I don't want to tell all of the full details. I just feel like that is not something that people can relate to. Just say, hey, I did have a romantic relationship with him. Whether or not you wanted that to be out, it's out now. It's important now. It's significant now because the crime took place. Anyway, we haven't heard anything from Tory. After the verdict came down, there was a big stir up as far as Rock Nation, because Tory's father made a lot of allegations that Rock Nation played a part in Tory being found guilty, and said that it was because Tory did not want to sign a deal with Roc Nation. Now, I have heard a lot of stories in regards to Jay-Z, signing different artists and things like that. He's given, people opportunities. I've even read an article recently about Damson Idris, who states that Jay-Z has helped him connect him with different resources in order to help him with certain things. I don't know Jay-Z personally, but I just can't imagine that just because he was not able to sign Tory Lanez, that he would go and purposely, mess up Tory's future. Jay-Z wasn't there that night. Jay-Z didn't encourage Megan to date Tory Lanez unless there's some sort of evidence to support that. Because what proof do we have that Jay-Z influenced you to even, have that weapon? First of all, you weren't even supposed to have the weapon because you were already found guilty. I believe he has another case from 2016 in regards to a weapons charge. So, the existence of the weapon, if the weapon belonged to the security guard or the bodyguard could have came out and said that a long time ago. So in this new motion, so now sentencing for Tory Lanez was supposed to be in January of 2023, but instead Tory Lanez obtained new representation, and that includes David Kenner, who is referred to as a storied hip hop lawyer. And David Kenner basically lobbied the judge to delay Tory's sentencing until April so that they can review trial transcripts and prepare for a motion. So here comes the motion, now that we are newly hearing about. So basically the motion is they're filing a motion for a new trial. After the guilty verdict, he now has new attorneys, Jose Baez and Matthew Barhoma. And they are basically advising that there are multiple grounds for a new trial. So they are stating that the judge erroneously allowed jurors to view a September 2020 Instagram post from Tory Lanez's personal account, claiming that Megan's now estranged best friend Kelsey Harris was not the shooter. So they're alleging that they're alleging that Tory was not the one who was managing that account at that time. And this kind of goes back to the social media games that Megan basically got Megan upset. Once Megan saw that Tory was indirectly kind of doing things and then saying things and then disrespecting her in songs, that ultimately is what pushed Megan to kind of say, hey, you shot me. You shot me, right? Tory, you shot me. So I think if Tory would have his publicist, the people around him and himself just kept quiet, I think Megan and Simon would not have been pushed to do that. They, I don't know if they ever met or had a talk after that, but it should have been handled differently. If you now want to claim, and then you're now wanting to claim that you're innocent, and they're they are pointing the finger to Kelsey. All right, so, and I don't understand this because a lot of people, are giving Megan is facing backlash for quote unquote snitching, but is it what Tory Lanez is doing? Is that not considered snitching? Because he's essentially pointing the finger at Kelsey. Essentially pointing the finger at Kelsey. So let's see here. So Tory Lanez's content creator is Joshua Farias, And he's the one who claims that he was managing Tory's Instagram account. And he states he's the one who made the comment when someone was pointing the finger at Kelsey, saying Kelsey's the one who shot Megan. The comment came from Tory Lanez's account, and it said that's not true. So that was in response to people saying that Kelsey shot Megan. So Tory's attorneys are also saying that all of a sudden, in the middle of the case, the prosecutors started to bring forth Instagram posts in the middle of trial, and now it's saying that the judge should not have blocked the post because the defense team did not have sufficient time to figure out who wrote the reply. And the post was an apparent admission by Tory that Kelsey didn't fire the gun, which didn't make sense because his whole defense was that Kelsey did fire the shot that wounded Megan. So the problem with that is both Kelsey and Megan denied that Kelsey was the shooter. So basically they're saying that the emotion is because, Tory did not have a fair trial and because of what we just spoke about. My thing about this whole thing is that I think this is a waste of money and a waste of time. I feel like from the beginning, if there was a deal issue to Tory, I feel like he should have taken it, because now, yes, you were able to stay out of, jail for 2 years, because the incident happened in July 2020. So while he was waiting to see if charges were going to be brought to him, while he was waiting for trial after charges were, after he was charged, he was able to stay out of jail or out of prison for 2 years. But now, finally, that a verdict has been brought down. Now he's in prison awaiting for another trial to start. We don't know if the motion is going to be approved. We don't know if it's going to be denied. But in fact, either way, you're spending more money rather than just take accountability, even though you're alleging that you did not do it. But rather than take accountability, and maybe it would have been 2 years. I don't know, what the deal was that he was initially offered, but that would have been behind us by now. If it was 2 years, he would have spent the 2 years and he would have been coming out by now. And then he would have been free to tell whatever story he wanted to tell because he would have already served his time. But I just feel like he's dragging this on and wasting a lot of money. If a trial takes place, I don't think it's going to be, right away. I'm not sure how this works. And that's if it's even approved. That's if they find that the motion is valid. So we'll see what's to come. But that's an update on Tory. He would have been sentenced back in January, and then there was some sort of delay because he chased an attorney. I think there was something supposed to take place in April, but again, just a lot of delaying. So let me know what you think down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.